The last time Jon Gruden coached an NFL game in the regular season was 2008. Now he's back. It's 2018, 10 years later. He's going to return. He'll be back in the regular season in a couple of weeks. And I've always said, I've been pretty consistent on Jon Gruden. I've said, look, it's football. Jon Gruden knows football. He's going to be successful. He was a broadcaster. Of course he kept up with football. He watched a bunch of film. I've never been concerned that Jon Gruden was eventually going to be successful with the Raiders. I'm still pretty bullish. I think Jon Gruden's going to succeed, but I want to fine tune it a little bit. I think year one's going to be tough. I met a professor this week who he took 3 years off recently from being a professor. He took 3 years off from teaching classes. He spent the last 3 years doing research. He was out of the country doing all this stuff. Working in his field. He's a scientist. He's working in his field, but he hasn't been teaching classes for the last 3 years. Now he came back to teaching this year. I asked him, hey, okay, well, you came back. What's been the toughest thing to adjust to? He said the hardest thing for him to adjust to coming back and teaching again has been technology. Technology. The field is the same. He knows his field. Jon Gruden knows football. But technology, that's the thing that scares him. That's the thing that this professor, at least, coming back after only 3 years, not 10 years, 3 years. The professor said technology's been his biggest struggle. So just imagine leaving for 10 years. How much technology has changed in the last 10 years? That's the thing. You look back at the last 10 years, what's changed? iPads. When was the first iPad introduced? In 2010. 2 years after Jon Gruden stopped coaching the NFL, the first iPad was released. Generation 1, the first iPad. April 3rd, 2010. In the time Jon Gruden has been gone from coaching, technology's advanced leaps and bounds. Now tablets are consistently used on the sidelines of NFL games. So I think the same way we saw this professor struggle to come, he's not struggling, but it's been an adjustment for him. He's been having to adjust to technology. That's going to be something Jon Gruden's going to struggle with. Look, remember, iPads weren't around when he was a coach last time in the NFL. And the way the NFL's evolved the most in the last 10 years has been the way it's introduced technology on the sidelines. iPads, video, this, that, all kinds of little technology. Microsoft tablets, you see them all the time on the sidelines. There's a great video of Aaron Rodgers going, and he throws it. He's like in disgust. Anybody see the Sam Darnold video the other day? Him and Josh McCown both wiped their hair. I don't know. But I wonder this. I wonder if in the second half of football games, Jon Gruden might struggle with making adjustments. Because that's how we use technology now in the NFL. Look, ultimately, Jon Gruden's going to be successful, I have no doubt. He signed a 10-year deal. He wouldn't have came back. Jon Gruden wasn't going to come back to the NFL unless he thought he was going to be successful. And that's the benefit of his old show. That old show, the Gruden's QB camp. He got to kind of basically scout every quarterback coming in the NFL. He got to work with, Paxton Lynch, and probably knew Paxton Lynch was going to fail. He got to work with Kellen Moore. Knew Kellen Moore, he's not a great arm. But he got to work with Derek Carr. He got to work with Dak Prescott. He got to know, hey, these guys could succeed. They're pretty good. He loves Derek Carr. Look, Jon Gruden's not going to fail in the long run. But the thing to watch is immediately, how does he deal with making adjustments after halftime? How do the sidelines look for the Raiders? Do they get out-schemed in the second half of games? Because other teams are going to have a leg up on him. They know the technology better. They know how technology works better than Jon Gruden does. That's a hard one to beat. That's going to be a tough adjustment for Jon Gruden. That's something to watch if you're me. And that's why I'm going to scale back the Raiders. I think long term, 3 years from now, they're going to be successful. Right now, they're still making adjustments. I'm going to give Jon Gruden some time. He's got 10 years. Give him some patience. But I think initially, the little things like that we might not be worried about. Technology, that's going to be a big struggle. That's how the NFL's evolved. He knows football. He knows his field. But the little things like that is where Jon Gruden might struggle this year with the Oakland Raiders. In Las Vegas, they're moving. Who cares? That's how Jon Gruden is going to struggle with the Raiders in 2018. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is my show, Strong Opinion Sports. My name is Zach Schaumler, and this is just my passion. I love it. If you like Strong Opinion Sports as much as I do, you can share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about the show. And if you're new to Strong Opinion Sports, you can subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, as well as shorter little breakouts like this one you just watched. So again, share it, subscribe to it. It's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and have a great day.